Good day everyone, I'm Hurley of Warify Reviews here, back at it again with my review for the Fail Tulip. But before I proceed, I'd like to address that if my voice is really raspy or something's weird with my voice, I do apologize. I am not feeling well by the time that I record this video. And then again, English isn't really my forte, so please do bear with me since this isn't really my native language. Okay? Now that those are out of the way, I'd like to thank Fail for sending this unit to me in an exchange for a very honest and transparent review. Rest assured that all of my reviews are honest and transparent to the core like I always do, for the benefit of everybody, of course, including me, since again and again I won't be editing this extensively since I prefer writing my reviews rather than recording them. I do know that there are YouTubers, or there are people that are more versed in recording video reviews than me. So again, there's that. Okay, okay. So um, the Fail Tulip is quite unique in any way possible in my opinion, because for one, Fail as a brand do not really release IEMs that much for the past decade that I know them, or that I have experienced their products, since they usually release flathead earbuds most of the time. They don't release IEMs. They do release a couple of IEMs, but most of them are like, in my opinion, what do you call this? Mass produced, or probably a rebranded version based on those IEMs that I have reviewed before, or probably that I have owned before. As far as I remember, I owned a Fail Crescent before, which is a cool sounding IEM by the time it was released. A friend of mine owned a Fail Datura, a version of the Fail Crescent that is in silver colorway. Those were unique IEMs, but after that, their IEMs such as the Fail Poppy, I believe, is quite what do you call this? It is quite common. So fast forward today, it's been a while since Fail released an IEM, which is this one, the Fail Tulip. Based on the concept, it resembles tulip. It resembles the flower tulip. So I do believe they did a pretty good job on executing the overall presentation on the concept of the tulip on this one. So here's the box. As you can see, the box is this one, the Fail Tulip. It is in 10mm driver, single dome, single dynamic, gold ring. Yes, it's your usual specifications. It has the specifications here as well. It is tulip and in 4.4 millimeters, and its impedance is 14 ohms, and sensitivity is 110 decibels. It isn't really that hard to drive, so there's that. You can purchase this Fail Tulip for around, I believe, $90 or below $90. I will link the links, or the non-affiliated links, in the description down below. Okay, and what I have here is the black in 3.5mm, since there are some multiple configurations that you can purchase it with this one. I do believe by the time that I record this video, there's a version of this tulip that has the Hibiscus Pro, their refreshed version of the Hibiscus cable, which they are known of because it is a budget lit cable that is very practical, looks really good, and it is very durable by the time that it was released. They did a rehash or a rebrand or a refresh on that one with upgraded components, so to speak. Okay, so what I have here is the 3.5mm version with the usual black cable, but again, you can purchase this one with the 4.4mm version if you want to. Okay, okay, so we'll proceed to the accessories included. First and foremost, yes, this box, or this pocket case, or this case rather. Yes, it isn't really pocketable as you can see, but my oh my, it really speaks class. It really speaks premium for its price. Probably the best case that I have encountered and reviewed under $100, included in an IEM, in my opinion. It really speaks class. Yes, it really speaks class and premium for this price, as you can see. And this is very functional, which I'll be tackling later on with the Fail logo there. Although it would be nice if I were to nitpick it. This is faux leather, by the way. Yes, it is faux leather. If I were to nitpick, it would be nice if they have this embossed, since by the time passes, or probably you use this case every day, this will fade because this is just printed. I believe it isn't really embossed, so there's that. So it is, look at it is in gold, silver, gold zipper as well. And as you can see, it is very practical. See, it is very spacious as well. You get the Fail tulip cutout here for you to put the IEM, and it will not wiggle during transportation, which is really cool. And on this other panel is the set of ear tips that it comes with, which is very handy, since you won't be losing or misplacing your ear tips that much because it already has it here. The case of the earphones, or the ear tips rather, sorry, is already installed, or already a part of the case itself, with a mini pouch here for you to put your, I don't know, your probably your IM or your cleaning cloth. The world is your oyster on that one. But as you can see, you can also put or bring the whole ear tip set with you, which is really cool. By far, this is one of the most unique earphone cases that I have encountered, which really speaks well with the concept of this one, because the concept of the tulip as an earphone to me is quite unique in my opinion. I haven't seen any IEM that presents itself this way under $100. So this is a first to them, and this will definitely stand out if you're looking for an IEM under 100 US dollars, if you ask me. Okay, so here's the cable included. As you can see, the cable is really good. I like Fail cables that much. They are on the budget side of the spectrum, like hyper budget if you may, if we're talking about IEM or earphone cables. But at the same time, the hardware components on this one isn't really, it doesn't really feel budget to me. It really looks nice, and it really looks cool actually. Like this one, yeah, the plug on this one, it really looks cool. It has a 3D-ish geometric shape design with curves to it. My friend, a friend of mine, Obi Ojo, and another friend of mine, Kelly, said that this was the what do you call this, the deadly dagger or the deadly knife. This was inspired by that. But I do see the vision on that one because it really looks cool. In the splitter as well, this is metal, by the way. These are all metal. See, so you can see even the splitter is metal, which is really cool. It is really cool, as you can see. And as you can see, the cable itself is quite unique too for this price. You can actually purchase the cable separately for around $10 tops, or $10 to $12, because I purchased one myself for my Rose Technique City Star City 5 Pro, because the cable on paired with the Star City 5 Pro, this cable paired with the Star City 5 Pro really fits well. It really pairs well in terms of visual aesthetics, and I do believe that the Star City 5 Pro benefits from a balanced connection, so I had it in 4.4 connection as well. So there's that. Okay, let's go back to here in the Fail tulip, and here's the IEM design. So you can see it is really unique. It is really cool. Even the rose gold color is really unique for this IEM. Really looks nice. It is definitely a visual aesthetic on that one. And as you can see here, here's the naming, the Fail tulip. As you can see, it really looks nice. Definitely a visually pleasing IEM, if you may. Okay. As for the fit and comfort, I had no problems with it. At first, I thought I'll be having problems because based on the connection, as you can see, based on the female connector placement, it seems that it fits like a blonde. It will fit like a blonde, but I am wrong on that one. Yeah, I spoke too soon. Actually, this fits really well with my ear. I had no problems with it despite of its odd shape. Yes, I had no problems with it, and I can comfortably say even those people with smaller ears will fit this one just fine. Actually, I have a guess that they molded the shell out of a female, what do you call this, female earlobes, yeah, or probably a female ear canal, because the it really fits well. Yes, it really fits well with smaller ears, despite it being very unique in shape. And yes, the concept is leaning to the feminine-ish side of things. But yeah, I don't discriminate gender, so there's that. Anyone can wear and use what they want. So yes, I am using this literally most of the literally during my commutes. During my commutes, running down errands like I always do, to test its practicality in reality. Okay. Okay, so I have no problems with it being in a rose gold colorway. I find it really unique. I love this shape. I love everything. I love everything in terms of its implementation, in terms of its execution of the Fail Tulip. It is definitely a banger of an IEM for me in terms of those contexts. Okay? Okay. Now, as for the drivability, again, I had no problems with this one. You compare this basically with everything. But I do see the improvements when you pair this with a properly powered USB DAC, or USB source, preferably a neutral sounding DAC, because it really shows on the bass response. The bass response is a bit firmer. It is a bit solid. It is a bit more solid and has more mid bass texture to it. It has a more mid bass punch when you pair it with a properly powered sounding DAC, like for example a DD Hi-Fi TC35M2, or probably a Venture Electronics Devastator, those types of USB dongles. You don't need to spend expensive dongles for this one. A dongle under $20 would be just fine with this one. But however, I don't prefer it paired with the Apple dongle, because the base is a bit loose on that one, probably because it doesn't have the power that the Fail Tulip requires, although it doesn't really require that much. So there's that. Again, at least two VRMs in power under $20 neutral sounding DACs will do just fine with the Fail Tulip. Okay? Okay. Now, as for the sound of this one is I honestly did not expected anything out of a Fail Tulip or of a Fail IEM in that regard, because again, Fail rarely releases an IEM. Actually, they have more expertise in cables, or in flatted earbuds, specifically the Fail Iris Ancestor, the Snow Lotus, the Iris, the Fail Poppy. If you know, you know. But I maybe that's the reason why I am amazed with the Fail Tulip, because it is a well-tuned set, in my opinion, under $100. It really sets itself, or it really shows itself in the competition under $100 in terms of IEM saturated IEM market, in my opinion, based on what I have reviewed and experienced, at least. Because 100 IEMs under $100 are very, very competitive, in my opinion. There's always a new IEM in the around the block every month, which is quite fascinating. And I gotta admit, most newbies this time are very, very spoon fed at this point, unlike most of us people 10 years ago, wherein IEMs under $100 that are competitive and at the same time really good in terms of tonal and technical performance are a bit scarce in that time. But today, you can basically pick whatever you want. You just have to look at what you really prefer. In this case, the Fail Tulip fits those types of things. It is well tuned. It sports a U-shaped ish sound signature. Yes, it sports a U-shaped sound signature that leans to a bit of a borderline bright ish type of sound, which is a good thing for most people, because it is quite versatile in on what it is doing. You can literally put any genre that you pair with it, and it will sound really good for its price. Now, as for the bass here on the Tulip is quite balanced. Actually, it is well balanced for its price. I'd say that it is mildly elevated, of course, but not as elevated when compared to the upper mids, for example, which I'll talk to later on. The bass on this one has a nearly equal levels of sub bass and mid bass actually, and it is kind of dependent in on what ear tips that you are using actually with the tulip, in terms of its slam, in terms of its presentation, because when you pair this Fail tulip with the included ear tips with the orange stem right here, yes, the orange stem right here, the bass gets deeper. Yes, the bass gets deeper, the sub bass gets rumblier as well, actually nearing borderline bass head levels, if you may, while still keeping the cleanness, of course, but at the same time the whole sound will sound really V-shaped in terms of sound signature. Whereas when you pair this Fail tulip with the black, yes, the black ear tips or the black stemmed ear tips that I have here, it sounds a bit, yes, a bit more balanced in terms of bass response. So that's the reason why I describe the bass on the tulip as well a well balanced type of sound character, because when paired with this black stemmed ear tips, it sounds a bit balanced to my ears. Yes, it is still mildly elevated, but not as elevated when compared to the upper mids, as what I've said before. So the mid bass and sub bass levels here are what do you call this, are quite equal in levels in terms of presence. They do have the rumble and the punch whenever the track calls for it, of course. The attack and decay is on the average side of things. I guess that's nothing to write home about, but at the same time, it is far from being bad either, because it is quite detailed actually for an IEM under $100. It is really good on that one. Okay, so base heads at who are looking for an IEM under 100 USD will probably find the Fail tulip a bit lacking on that regard. But again, this isn't really a base headset. Okay, this isn't trying to be a base headset. You may want to look elsewhere. But if you're but if you're one of those people that listens to an IEM averagely, like for example you listen to pop, you don't have any like specific preference, that for example you want a bassy IM, you want a triple head IM, yada yada yada, you won't be having any problems with the Fail tulip. Okay, now as for the mids are mildly recessed, of course, with a really good um amount of warmth to it. I'd say it isn't really that warm, but at the same time, it has a noticeable added thickness to the lower mids either. But again, it is far from being recessed or drowned. It is not drowned, not at all actually. It is still pleasant for a U-shaped set, which I anticipated. It really sounds good for a U-shaped set. Okay, so male voices, male vocals, instruments that live within the lower mids will sound a bit thicker, but not by a lot here with the Fail tulip. Now, as for the upper mids are definitely elevated. It has a good amount of air, clarity, and sparkle. But at the same time, it is borderline bright. So, to me, it isn't really a problem, because I have a very good tolerance on sibilance. I have a very good tolerance on peakness or brightness. But for those people that are very sensitive to boosted upper frequencies, they may find this at times a bit too bright or a bit too squeaky clean, because the presentation of the Fail tulip in terms of its sound as a whole is really clean for a U-shaped set, particularly on this region, the upper mid. So if you are very sensitive to upper frequencies, you can still enjoy the Fail tulip, but at the same time, you may find yourself limiting to using this after an hour or two. But for most people that aren't really sensitive to borderline bright, it isn't really bright, but borderline bright, mind you, upper mids, you won't be having any problems with the Fail tulip. You may enjoy the vocals as well on the Fail tulip, because the vocals on this one is really good for its price. Okay. Now, as for the treble is well extended. Yes, it is well extended, but at the same time, not as forward or not as, not as airy as the upper mids. Yes, it isn't that airy when compared to the upper mids, but not by a lot actually. It isn't that far enough. It's just that you'll notice the upper mids first than the treble itself on the same track. That's how I experienced it. Okay, extension is there, the air is still there, I see no problem with it. Detail retrieval is above average for its price. I can hear the micro nuances of the tracks I usually test with easily, so I have no problems with the treble. But then again, if you are that type of person that has a very sensitive ears to boosted slash bright upper frequencies, you may find it a bit too much after an hour or two. But for most people, you won't be having any problems with it. Okay? Okay. Now, as for the technical performance on this one is, in a nutshell, it is average to above average, if you may. Why above average? Well, I kinda like how the Fail Tulip presents the height here. It is quite tall on soundstage. The soundstage on this one is quite tall. For an IEM under $100, it is quite tall with a good amount of depth, and it is definitely wide. It never sounded too closed or boxed in any way. Okay, now the separation and layering is also good. It is above average most of the time. It can handle busy passages really well. Like, it had no problems with that one. So again, it's a good thing as well. Okay, imaging is as precise as ever, as precise as it could be. I haven't found any problems with in terms of its what do you call this, in terms of its imaging. It is still precise even on the podcast or the um what do you call this, podcast, live performances, instrumentals. I had no problems with this one. Okay? Okay. Now, where should we compare this Fail Tulip? We'll only compare this with the IEMs that I currently have here under $100. Like, for example, the Rose Techniques or the Rose Celsa Star City 5 Pro here in this one. When compared, the Rose Techniques Star City 5 Pro is a bit more balanced. Yes, it is a bit more balanced. It is a bit more warm. It is a bit more bassy when compared to the Fail Tulip, but it lacks the extension. It lacks that detail retrieval and the technical chops that the Fail Tulip has. So there's that. That is the simplest way, or the simplest interpretation or explanation that I could think of it, or as well based on what I hear. Okay, um, okay, sure. Yes, it would. I know, it would be unfair if we compare this with a 100 plus ish dollar set, but let's also compare this because this is a 1 DDIM, by the way, which is this one, the Dunu Kima 2. One of my favorites because of its tonality. Okay, when compared, the Duno Kima 2 is a bit thicker. Yes, it is a bit thicker. It is a bit more forgiving on sibilant prone tracks. It is a bit more warmer as well when compared to the Fail Tulip. But at the same time, it lacks the snappiness. It lacks the edge, or it lacks the technical chops that the Fail Tulip has. It also lacks the cleanliness that the Fail Tulip has. And yes, the Fail Tulip is easy to drive, while the Duno Kima 2 is fairly easy to drive for me, but I have seen it benefited from a proper source, probably in 4.4 balance configuration. So there's that. Um, Literally, we can form a judgment here that the Fail Tulip is definitely a bang for the buck for what it's worth. Again, you're looking at a sub 90 US dollars IEM, while while the Roselsa Star City 5 Pro is around $70, I believe, while the Duno Kima 2 is around 120 US dollars, I believe. Okay? Okay. Now I'll speak to the Tagalog version of my review for a while. Okay? Okay. Okay. Now si Fail Tulip is U-shape siya. U-shape sounding IM siya na leaning sa borderline bright na type ng tunog. So, ayun, hindi naman siya bright like hindi like yung Simgot EA500, EA500LM, EW200. No, hindi siya ganun ka bright, not at all. Borderline bright siya kasi alam mong mayroong added crispiness and may added siya na clarity talaga sa upper mids. Maganda yung vocal presentation nito in my opinion. Pero yun nga, syempre yung mga taong sensitive talaga sa upper frequencies, probably after 1 to 2 hours nilang gamitin to, papahinga muna nila yung tenga nila. Actually, most people na very sensitive sa upper frequencies, ganun yung yung observation ko sa kanila, which is okay. Syempre for anti-hearing damage din eh. Pero yun nga, for most people wala kayong magiging problema sa neto, sa vocals niya, sa upper frequencies niya, wala siyang problem. U-shape lang talaga siya na sobrang linis. Actually, mas malinis pa siya sa EPZ Q1 Pro na meron ako noon. Oo, partida yon, Harman sounding, sinunod lahat ng target, ganito ganyan. Ito mas malinis to doon. Mas makapal yon, pero at this time ito mas balanced ish yung kapal niya. So ayun, kung naghanap ka ng IM na sobrang unique and madaling ma-drive and literally na bang for the buck under 5,000 pesos, mai-recommend ko tong Fail Tulip. Actually, gamit ko pa rin to everyday. Kasi ganun ko katrip yung tunog niya kahit na hindi ako fan usually ng U-shape sets. Kasi ang sa akin lang naman, as long as na maganda yung tunog, maganda yung tunog. Ayun na yun. Okay? And now, babalik na tayo sa English na English portion or English na language para magbigay ng verdict dito sa Fail Tulip. Okay? Okay. So, what's my verdict for the Fail Tulip? And again, in my opinion, the Fail Tulip is definitely one of the best sets that you can purchase right now under 100 USD. And probably it is the most unique. It is the most unique IM as well under 100 US dollars that you could purchase right now. From its design, from its visual design, from its concept that it is a tulip, from its accessories that really speaks premium for its price, probably the best that I have encountered so far, down to its build quality, the shape, the fit and comfort, the sound. It all checks there as an all-rounder IEM that I can recommend under 100 US dollars. It doesn't try to be something that isn't. It does not try to be basic. It doesn't try to be an analytical treble head aficionado IEM of choice, but it presents itself in a very unique way because I haven't experienced or I haven't reviewed an IEM that has this type of unique-ish concept. Even on sound, actually, there aren't a lot of unapologetic U-shaped IEMs under 100 US dollars because most of them follow the Harman target. While this does not follow that from what I hear, but it presents itself in its own way. It is in its own classic, unique way. So with a modern touch, of course, particularly on the technical chops. I love the technical chops on this one under 100 US dollars. So hats off to Fail for making this IM possible. It is definitely one of your better or probably one of the best tuned sets that you have created in today's Chi-Fi IM market. Okay? I'm very thankful to Fail that they trusted me to review this one because I really enjoyed this a lot. Okay? Okay. And now that ends my review for the Fail Tulip. Again, I'd like to thank Fail for sending this unit to me in an exchange for a very honest and transparent review. Rest assured that all of my reviews are honest and transparent to the core like I always do for the benefit of everybody, of course, including me. Since again, I won't be editing this review extensively, I'd like to, I'd like to keep this as raw as it can be. Okay? Okay. Now, as for the backlogs, I still have a lot of backlogs as usual. As you know, I have now this one, the Tourist, the Heidi's Marketed Tourist, and this one, the Kiwi Ears Septet. I do have a lot of backlogs here and there. I still have the Snowski Anytime and Anywhere. If you know, you know. I still have some products that are currently on the way, so it will be a very busy career or is this even a career or a hobby? Very, very busy hobby, I guess. It hones me though, but oh well. Yeah. And see you on the next one.